In today's video, I'll be discussing what exactly is going to happen in e-commerce in 2023 and the top 5 things you need to be focusing on to destroy your competition. Okay, before we get started, my name is Brando. I'm the founder of Brandlux Media, a marketing agency specialized in growing e-commerce brands through paid advertising and UGC content. Before we dive in, I kindly ask you to like that button, subscribe to the channel, and do all that stuff. So how is advertising going to change in 2023 or moving forward going into 2023? There's 3 things that are going to happen and you're not going to like it, okay? Number 1 is that advertising costs are just going to skyrocket and go up into the sky. It's going to be bad, okay? It's been bad in 2021. It's been also bad in 2020. If we even look at 2015, that's where probably ad costs were somewhat reasonable. But this doesn't mean we can't do something about it, okay? Number 2 is that competition for e-commerce on platforms in any industry is just going to go up automatically. I don't know if you've been looking at the trends over the last years, but e-commerce is just going up and up every single year. It's just the trend. It's popular. And as we move forward, you're just going to have more competition. It's just how it's going to be, okay? And number 3, because of these 2 factors, acquisition costs are just really going to increase. I know you're not liking this, and I'm pretty sure you're also familiar with these things that, eventually they're going to happen. But these 3 things are what are going to happen in 2023 moving forward. So the more we go on and the more these things are going to get worse, okay? So here are the top 5 things that you need to be focusing on going into 2023 and just moving forward to make sure that the 3 factors that I just mentioned are not really going to make a difference for your brand, okay? Or at least you're going to be a step ahead compared to your competition, okay? So number 1 is going all in, and when I say all in, I really mean it, going all in creatives, okay? Most importantly, UGC creatives, user-generated content. Essentially, what's extremely important, actually, before I get into this, if you just look at the companies that are making 7, 8, 9 figures and their brands, and their main focus is, e-commerce, one thing that they have in common is that they have a huge network of content creators. And this is usually what happens whenever they launch a new product or they want to test a new offer or they want to test a new bundle. They pick up the phone or they send, a text message or an email to like 200 to 300 creators, and a week goes by and they have 200 to 300 new pieces of content. So how they're doing this is essentially they're completely beating their competition creatively, specifically on platforms like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Okay, so focus on creating a user-generated content network of content creators, of professional content creators that can shoot your creative, and this will actually make a difference for you in 2023 and moving forward. Creative at the end of the day is the most important thing. Advertising is becoming, especially through all this AI movement, is probably going to become completely automated, to be honest with you, and all the brands need to focus on the UGC type of creative, or also on any type of creative. So this is number 1. Number 2 is adding upsells, downsells, and cross-sells to your sales process. If you are not doing this, I can assure you that you're leaving between 5 and 15% of your revenue just on the table. We implement, I'm not going to go through the apps. Maybe I'm going to go through these applications that we use on Shopify or other platforms that increase, metrics like, the upsells that you offer, the downsells, and the cross-sells. I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to shoot another video, but you have to implement strategies to make sure that when somebody buys a product, perhaps you offer product B because they're complementary, or perhaps when somebody buys a bundle, then you offer another bundle. Like, you need to have strategies to make sure that you increase the average order value, because the average order value is probably one of the easiest things to increase compared to, for example, conversion rate, because it's, working on conversion rate is technically and usually harder compared to average order value. While with average order value, you can be creative if you're good at adding the upsells, the downsells, and the cross-sells, and it just works, okay? Do it on email, and also do it on a post-purchase sequence. What I mean by that is when somebody purchases your product, instead of redirecting them to like a thank you page, in between the checkout and the thank you page, add 2 to 3 offers that are complementary to what they just bought before to increase the average order value. And I can assure you we're doing this for all of our clients. we're helping them or consulting them on implementing these strategies. And on average, we go from, and we bump the revenue by 5 to 15% just by adding this infrastructure, which is super important. And this actually makes a difference, because if you can add, let's say, 10% of extra revenue, guess what? You can take that money and use it to acquire more customers. Okay, so moving on to number 3, this is working on your list. Okay, there's nothing more important than working on your list, and what I'm referring to specifically is email marketing and SMS marketing flows. Okay, most importantly, like, I don't understand why people don't believe that email marketing does not work while it's generating between 20 and 35% for all the clients that we manage at Brandlux Media. I just don't understand it. So what you have to be doing and focusing on is working on providing value. Yes, do promotional emails maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, but make sure that you provide value in the emails that you send, because there's nothing worse than receiving emails that you just don't care about, or you don't even want to open it, right? That's when you receive unsubscribers, right? So what we do for our clients that really, really works well is that we focus on value-based emails. So 80% value and 20% perhaps going for a promotion or reminding them of something else. But lead with value first, and I can assure that your open rates are gonna increase. Your email list is gonna be warmer, because you're warming them up, and as you provide more value, and therefore whenever you have a promotion, the promotion is gonna explode because you've led with value first. So this is number 3. Going into number 4. This is super important, and a lot of brands actually do not do it, or they start doing this and then they just stop. And this is split testing your offer. Your offer is one of the most important things that you need to be working on when it comes to your e-commerce business, because it's probably one of the primary reasons why somebody decides to go with you compared to somebody else. If you have a great offer, it's going to change your business. Okay, so what we do at Brandlux Media is that we split test different variations of offers. For example, for a client of ours, we promoted a product, which isn't really an offer, but we just started promoting and testing different products, and at the same time we were split testing a bundle offer with free shipping and 2 digital assets that were combined with the purchase if they decided to move forward with this bundle. And that worked, like, I think it was like 40 to 50% better. So we went forward with that. Once we had that, we continuously split tested 2 to 3 other offers to make sure that we always were running ads to the offers that converted in the best way, right? A lot of people just do 1 or 2 split tests, they see something that works fine, and then they don't continue to iterate and change these strategies on, split testing new offers. So if there's one thing that you need to do and never stop doing is continuously split testing the different offers, it's going to change the game 100%. And it's going to increase. We've seen conversion rates go from like 2% to like 4.5% overnight, just because we were split testing these offers. So that's number 4. Number 5 is working on customer retention strategies. Guys, I cannot say this enough, but retention is what keeps companies alive and profitable if we look at a 10, 20, 30, 100-year span. Okay, the companies that stay alive and stay extremely profitable are the companies that spend the most to acquire each customer, because they're confident in their lifetime value of a customer, meaning that they know how to retain these customers, they know how to pitch to these customers, and they make sure that they implement strategies that make sure that they stay with them and stick with them, and they don't perhaps go to a competitor or go with another brand. So working on retention, whether it's through email, whether it's through phone, whether it's through any type of communication, and of course, before I even forget, part of retention is also working on your product, because if your product or service, right now we're speaking about e-commerce, so if your product is just not quality, then within the span of 1 to 2, maybe 3 years, you're going to promote to all the US or all your territory, and they're going to know that you're a scam. Okay, so work on your product, perfect it, and then work on launching new products and launching new offers to increase that retention. And I love consumable products, which is why mostly with the brands that we work with brands that offer products that are consumable, because this is the best retention strategy that you can go with, right? If you're selling a skincare product and it works great, the only thing you have to do is remind people to make sure that they come back and buy more, assuming they like the product, and incentivize them with a discount. So these are the 5 things. Number 1, UGC creatives. Number 2, upsells You got to focus on upsells to increase AOV. Super important. Number 3, email marketing flows. Super, super important. Number 4, continue split testing the offers. And number 5, focus on retention. I hope these tips were helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and see you in the next video.